Hello, welcome, and congratulations on joining this free hypnotherapy training masterclass. It's great to have you here. Now, during the course of this free training, there's a lot of information I'd like to cover, so if you want to grab a pen and paper or something and make some notes there, please do. Whether you're a complete beginner at this or you already have some previous skills, this is a fantastic time to get involved in this line of work, and we're going to share with you some incredible opportunities available to you right now. But before we get into that, I want to put your mind at rest, because if you've ever tried something like this before or struggled or failed, I need you to understand that it's not your fault. It either means that you weren't given the right information, or you weren't given the information in a way that you could use it effectively. Either way, if you struggled this way before, it's not your fault. You just need to be taught the right kind of information in the right way. So please just relax and take this information as we go through this masterclass for you, so you can begin to understand how this could work for you. Now, if you've looked around the world of hypnotherapy and hypnosis training, I'm sure you've discovered it's quite confusing. There's an incredible number of courses available nowadays and people offering trainings, a whole different range of qualifications and certificates and different topics covered. And if you don't understand the subtleties and the nuances of it, it can be incredibly confusing. And something I've noticed is how complicated some people seem to make it. My personal approach has always been to take complex subjects and make them as simple as possible. I believe actually everything really is quite simple. It's just we have a tendency to make them complicated as people. And whatever the issues or problems or challenges of life, if we can simplify them down to the absolute core, then usually the solution is fairly obvious. And so as I take you through this masterclass, what I also want to do is help you understand the different types of therapy available, the different types of hypnotherapy, what they mean, and how you can decide which is the right one for you, along with memberships and qualifications and accreditation, certification, all that kind of thing that's quite important. So that by the end of this training, you have a very clear understanding of the right way forward for you, so that you know how to be successful at this and achieve your goals, ambitions, and live your dreams. Now, the fact that you've even signed up for a masterclass such as this tells me that you have a desire to make a difference in somebody. You want to help people. Something within you has a desire to help people. And probably you're the kind of person who people already come to and chat to about their problems and tell their stories to and their woes to and seek your advice. That's a very common thing I hear from students on my courses. So it's very important I share with you how you can actually begin to make that happen now, so you can make an impact and make a successful full or part-time career out of it, if that's what interests you. Now, this masterclass is designed for two types of people. First of all, if you're a complete newbie, a complete beginner at this, we're going to give you a step-by-step plan of how you can get from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest possible time without compromising on quality, so that you can achieve your goals in months, not years. For those of you who already have some experience or are more advanced, I'm going to share with you how you can elevate yourself to the next level of success. That's success both with clients and success in the financial, the business side of this. Now, my name is Andrew Parr. I've been involved in the world of hypnotherapy, hypnosis, personal development for over 30 years now, and I've carried out somewhere in excess of 17 or 18,000 one-to-one client sessions. I know I've helped a lot of people, and I've helped to transform a lot of people's lives, but it's also transformed my own life as well. See, I have been a very anxious person at times. I've suffered with fear, anxiety, stress, tension, shame, guilt, a whole range of different feelings and emotions. And the very things I'm going to share with you today are what I've used in my own life to overcome those and create a very happy, successful, fulfilling life, helping others. How I got into this many years ago is I had a very difficult time in my life. I suffered quite a major personal loss, and a lot of things just fell apart in my life. And I remember there's one moment where I was sitting on the floor of a flat I was living in thinking, what am I going to do? What happens now? And this little voice in my head said, find out about hypnosis, find out about hypnosis. So I did. I picked up the Yellow Pages. It was the dark ages then, no internet. So I picked up the Yellow Pages, called a few numbers, and enrolled on a course. But during the course of my studies, and as I expanded my studies and worked with lots of people, it became more and more obvious to me how the external world around us and all the situations and experience we have there are greatly influenced by our inner world, of our thoughts and our feelings, our emotions. And the two are very, very interconnected. And if we try and change anything in the external world without creating an associated shift in our inner world, it's just like running up a down escalator, where we get so far in willpower alone, and then eventually we just end up back at the bottom, back where we started, usually feeling a little deflated and downhearted. and worried about trying again. But as I begin to make those shifts in my inner world, as I use the tools of the trade I've been learning and applied them to myself, then my external world began to shift and things became much easier. Eventually, it became to the point where I decided I just wasn't happy in my day job anymore. I quit the day job, I launched my practice, and I've been doing that full time pretty much now for more than 30 years. However, I've never been particularly good at always just following the rules and doing what I've been told. So my mind was always exploring here and there and thinking, what can I learn here and what can I learn there? So I also studied psychotherapy, life coaching, counseling, CBT, a lot of spiritual practices. And I began to pick and choose different elements of these and a whole range of other therapy models, and began to introduce them into what I had already learned around the world of hypnotherapy and hypnosis. And so over these 30 years, I've really developed my own particular unique brand of hypnotherapy and hypnosis, which has been described as probably the kindest, quickest, and most effective form of personal therapy available. And I'll be sharing more details about that with you very, very soon. Now, I know you face struggles of your own, and it's those struggles that you've overcome or are still working to overcome that are actually probably a big driving factor in you even taking part in this free training and being interested in this line of work. I know that's what got me into this. It was partly trying to heal myself, drew me to this line of work, and that's a fascinating thing about this as well. So that desire to help others is what's drawing you forward in this. And I really want to help you make that happen. And what I want to do now, if that's okay with you, is to share my top 3 secret strategies, shall we say, for creating a highly effective, in-demand, successful hypnotherapy practice. And each of those 3 elements are important there. Highly effective because you have to be good at helping people. In demand because you have to have people who want that help coming to see you. And successful there because, you can be a successful voluntary worker if you want to, but to make a financial success of it, you have to know how to run the business side of it. So there's those 3 elements, okay? Being good at helping people, connecting you with people who need that help, and then making it work as a full or part-time business. So let's just summarize those 3 secrets first of all, then we'll go through them in more detail. And each of these secrets, in a way, becomes part of that step-by-step plan to help you achieve your goals and aims here. And the first secret I learned was that if you help people in a very general way, people will refer people to others who do a similar thing. For example, if you do very normal, very standard hypnotherapy that you can get on most training courses, people will say, yeah, that hypnotherapy was good, it really helped me. And they'll send friends and family to see somebody else who can do that kind of work. If you can create a very deep and lasting transformation in people, though, that really touches them at a deep level, they will send clients to you. Not just anybody, they'll send them to you. And this is incredibly important when you are looking to generate referrals and really expand your business. So the number 1 secret I learned, first of all, and it took me a long time to realize this, was don't just try and help people. Help them have a really profound, deep, and moving experience. And in a moment, I'm going to go through how we do that. The second secret there was how to get clients to solve their own problems. I mentioned earlier that many courses and training seem quite complicated, and I've studied hypnotherapy, hypnosis, and all sorts of therapy for years. So what I learned to do was teach people, show people, sometimes knowingly, sometimes without them really understanding how it's happening, to solve their own problems. So when you know how to do this, you don't need to be super clever and super complicated and use all these kind of clever language patterns that some people talk about. You just need to have a very simple process you can follow. And then the client, in a way, begins to solve the problems themselves. And yet gives you the credit for it at the end. And when I learned how to do that and just ask the right questions and nudge the client in the right direction, they would have these incredible realizations, these incredible releases, these incredible transformations, sometimes very, very quickly. And they would then go on to become one of those people who refer people to me rather than just anybody who happened to do the similar thing to me. So secret number 2 is how to get people to solve their own problems at the deepest possible level and then give you the credit for it. And the third secret is around launching a practice and business and making the financial side of it work. And again, there's something very important I discovered there, and I'll go through the details of that with you in a short while. For now, though, let's do a little teaching for you to help you understand how and why this kind of approach is so much more effective than many conventional therapies available.